With over 1 million visitors annually, High Park is the jewel of Toronto's park system. As more than one-third of its 399 acres remains in its natural state, it is recognized as one of the most significant natural sites within the city of Toronto. When coming to High Park, you might not expect to find Colborne Lodge, a unique and lovely place steeped in history. Stay with us as we visit the lodge and step back in time to the 19th century. You're watching City Parent TV. Now, Cheryl, this is not what you'd expect to find when entering the park.
Yes, most people don't expect to find a little bit of history when they come into a public park.
Right, it's sort of like the gem at the end of the road.
Yes.
Now, where this is Colborne Lodge. So what's the history behind the lodge?
Well, this is the home of the people who founded High Park. John and Jemima Howard bought themselves some country property in the early 1830s and built a little cottage on the property looking onto Lake Ontario, and lived in here until the 1890s when they deeded or bequeathed their property and the house to the City of Toronto as a public park.
So the city now owns this, and so they had 400 acres? Wow, that's
they
huge.
Actually just had 165.
Okay.
So what was the Howard property is basically the middle of the park right now, but the city purchased property on the east and on the west shortly after, and that brought it up to its current size of 399.
Right. So this is really kind of stepping back in time. What would I find when coming into the lodge?
Well, we have a fair amount of the original Howard furnishings.
Really?
Yes. John and Jemima didn't have any children together, so when they passed away, everything just stayed in the house. So we have a fair amount of their furnishings, but what's particularly special is the large amount of watercolors we have that John Howard painted of early Toronto.
So he was a painter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and those are still so those are original. That must be
Yes.
fabulous coming in, because you can sort of see how people used to live, and it amazes me that you say that this is their country cottage.
It started out that way.
Close to Toronto, but it's sort of right under our noses, and this is sort of how they live. So so what's the architecture of the house?
Yeah, it's called picturesque, and it's actually a rare form of architecture here in North America, and it was designed for rural areas, and the idea is to take advantage of areas of natural beauty, and so the outside of the house is usually quite plain and small, and so your eye is drawn to the nature or the beauty around you, and when you're inside, the rooms are kept quite small, and there's lots and lots of windows so that you can look out and interact with nature while you're inside the house as well.
Right, so you can enjoy it. That's amazing. So if I'm putting this on the list of things to do with my family, and it's amazing what's right under your nose, until you sort of realize that this is here. So coming to the park as a family, what else might I do when I'm visiting?
Well, with your family, I'd recommend coming to the south end of the park, which is where we are.
So this is the south?
Yes,
okay.
yes. It's quieter here, nice and quiet, lots of nature. It's very scenic. And so if your children are interested in things like butterflies, insects, chipmunks, snakes even.
What child isn't, really?
Exactly. They're all around us. Close by also is Grenadier Pond, just a short walk down, and it's a beautiful, lovely spot. There's an adventure playground not too far from us, as well as animal paddocks. Then close by also is Grenadier Cafe if you start to get a little hungry, and even to the north end of the park there's a small facility called the Nature Center.
So lots to really keep you busy for a whole day, and then some, really.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much.
My
and if
pleasure.
you want more information about all that Colborne Lodge has to offer, visit www.toronto.ca/museums. You've been watching City Parent TV.